So guys, I think I'm gonna try to go vegetarian.
My God.
Well, I do it basically 99% of the time anyway. It just makes me feel good. And I like animals.
I like animals
I love
too.
animals.
I do too.
I like them on a plate.
Same.
I feel bad and my stomach just feels better. I've got stomach problems anyway. So when I don't eat meat and when I cut out like dairy products, I just feel so much better.
I mean, that's understandable. I actually, like, as much as I dog on vegetarians, I'm kind of like, if that's what's good for your stomach, fine.
Yeah.
It's not what would be good for mine, probably. But,
It's a process.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you, say you go vegetarian for like a week, that week might be rough because it's trying to get out all like the gross and the sludge and nasty that's in your stomach. And then after that, you're going to feel great. Guarantee it. 100%.
my thing is the protein substitution.
Mhm.
I hate when people say that because literally animals get protein from like the grass and vegetables and stuff. So we're technically getting secondhand protein from animals.
I'm not eating
They
grass.
get
That
all
is
their protein from like beans and vegetables and grass, which grass is the same
Good.
stuff that's in vegetables. So
That's
you
a
don't
good
have to
point.
eat a blade of grass, but you can eat like a pepper or a cucumber or whatever. So you're just getting secondhand protein from animals.
One
Myth
problem.
debunked.
One problem that I have is a lot of the stuff that I like to eat. Now I won't say I'm as careful as I would like to be. When I have the financial resources, I am actually quite picky with what I eat in terms of, trying to rule out the processed meats and things of that nature. But a lot of the stuff that I eat, I like to have that flavor to it. When I was just graduating high school, I lost my sense of smell. I don't know how much you know that the sense of smell affects a lot of your taste.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff for me, because I actually tried going vegetarian when I got out of high school because I was really overweight, and that was something I thought I could work with. And I got to a point where I didn't enjoy eating, no matter what it was, because I couldn't taste anything.
When you think about it, though, it's eating something you're meant to enjoy because it's kind of just a biological process.
Yeah, it's just for nutrition.
Well, it was like when I'm having to force down even stuff that, like when I'm having to force down something like a deer sausage, which my family hunts deer and we have the meat, and
If you're going vegetarian, why were you still eating deer?
my family had it, and it got to a point where I was having to eat something
Okay.
because I couldn't force myself to eat the other stuff. And it got to a point where like even that wasn't even tasting good, and that's something I grew up on. And so it's just,
Did you ever venture outside of your like regular
oh yeah.
food habits? Because I feel like people will say that all the time about going like vegetarian. They're like, oh, I don't want to just eat a salad.
No, I
I'm like,
would,
well,
most of my
go
meals
to the
was like,
grocery store and like look outside of the salad section because you find a lot of stuff.
now honestly, one of my favorite meals at that point would have been 2 apples. Just, I've always liked the taste of apples. I would often eat,
That's funny because I
Like,
don't like apples.
that would,
It's like the one fruit I don't like is
yeah,
apples.
I would usually eat like 2 apples and a banana
More of an orange.
for a
guy.
lunch,
Mhm.
and I would go off of that. But it got to a point where I didn't enjoy that, and I couldn't.
Because
I've
you eat the
lost
same
a
thing
lot
every
of
day.
I lost a lot of weight very quickly, but I became very unhealthy in the way that I lost weight.
Yeah, that's
Well,
something
yeah,
like.
I mean, that sounds unhealthy eating 2 apples and a banana. That's every day. That's very unhealthy. You have to have like carbs and
variance.
protein. Yeah, there has to be some kind of
Yeah.
variance
There-
because you're just eating
That
natural
was
sugars.
And I
that was
think-
something Bethany, she tried going vegetarian, but she wasn't still, she was going vegetarian, but she just wasn't eating meat. She wasn't eating right. She just wasn't eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of problems with it, and finally just decided to just try it again at another point where she could better manage it.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely have to like research it.
Yeah, because she had looked it up and been like, okay, I'm just not eating right.
Yeah.
Let me just go back to eating meat for a bit, and if I want to do this again, and do it the right way
And
later.
And that was me, but like when I went back to eating meat, it became more where I was, because at that point I was working full time and going to school full time. I had a little bit more money and I was a little bit more capable of taking care of my body better. And I was actually in pretty good shape for a while. I was still overweight, because obviously I ended up putting all that weight back on. But I was very careful with what I ate still. I would avoid processed foods, things of that nature, and I actually stayed in pretty good shape for quite a while. And then I came here, and while I was at community college, I worked, like I said, I worked full time, and my parents were like, look, we're going to make sure you've put back money. We're going to make sure you have enough money to live off of based on that money, and we're going to tack a little bit onto that to where you don't have to get a job. So they basically were like, you're not allowed to get a job here until after I get my degree. Of course, internships and stuff like that came into play, but that's still not giving me any money. So my diet now is not where I would like it to be. But when I get a job, I plan on getting back onto getting into a better diet and getting a better nutrition plan when I have the financial resources.
Yeah, I think that's about it. It's just like, do what you can afford, do what you think is best for you.
Yeah,
and
but when you cut out meat, it's so much cheaper.
and probably, yeah.
So much cheaper, yeah. So I think it's all about research, but I challenge y'all to try it for a week and see what happens.
Might. But we should probably get back to work.
Yep.